Well, it's that time of year again. Time to make the holiday cookies. So I've brought out the KitchenAid Stand mixer. I think we got this as a bridal shower present or maybe a wedding present. This thing has got to be at least 11, 12 years old, probably pushing 13, 14. And it's always had a little bit of a problem right here where you see that black stuff. That's like dried up grease and stuff, and there's also stuff in here you can see. That's not like cookie batter and stuff. It doesn't splash up like that. This whole thing has a gear case and there's a lot of grease in there. Now they have to use a food grade grease in here because in case anything were to drip out and get into whatever you're making, you know, it has to be safe. Food grade grease will separate basically into gunk and oil, and what happens is during periods of non-use the grease inside separates. There's an easy way to fix that, short of replacing all of that. I'm going to give you a little snippet here from a video from ereplacementparts.com, and the gentleman who is doing the repair in that video has some very sound advice for you.
Another thing that can cause it is the KitchenAid sitting for long periods of time. If it sits, the grease will begin to separate. So one of the best things you can do to keep this from happening is to just simply make more cookies with your KitchenAid mixer. The more you use it, the grease will get mixed and it won't separate.
But I'm not going to go and replace all of the grease in this thing. What I like to do is sort of warm up the gear case, if you will. And by letting it run, all of the oil will sling around in there and get mixed in with the gunk and sort of turn back into grease, because I'm not ready to do a re-grease job on this. It works perfectly fine, but when they start leaking like that, it's usually the oil that starts leaking out. So what I do is I just put the whisk attachment in. I put the bowl in here. I have it roughly half filled with water or something like that, and just start it out on low. It just does its thing, and I'll let that run for a minute or two, and then I'll kick it up to the next speed and the next speed, and eventually you want to get all the way up to speed 10. And once you get to 10, you want to let this thing sit and go for a rip, pedal to the metal for about 20 minutes, and that will heat everything up and remix everything in here. We'll go to the next speed. It'll kind of remix all of the grease in here and just kind of get everything more homogenized. It's just a thing I do once a year because that's really just about how often we use this, but it's an indispensable tool. So anyway, we'll just let this run. We can go a little bit higher. And you can see it certainly is still working just fine. Now when you get up into the higher range, it will start splashing out little droplets of water. It just is a fact of the matter. So you'll have a little bit of a mop-up job afterwards, or you could use a little bit less water, but I like to make sure there's enough in here so there's some sort of a load it's working against. High gear. And I'm just going to let that cook for a while. When it's done, turn it down one speed at a time until you get down to the end and finally stop. Okay, 20 minutes have gone by, so I'm going to start turning it down one speed at a time. And just let it settle for 5 or 10 seconds on each speed. And we'll just leave it right there and let it sit for about another minute just to rejuvenate everything in there. It's gotten a little bit warm, which is perfectly fine. And we'll shut it off, and now you're ready to make cookies. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.